Hello, I'm Kate McKay, a personal development expert, and I'm very excited to be interviewing Nadia Vincent. Nadia Vincent is a digital transformational expert, and she has been nominated as the top 10 in digital transformation. And this interview, in particular, is very important considering what happened last week with CrowdStrike in this massive global disruption. Nadia, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to getting into this conversation.
Hello, Kate. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to discuss with you.
Nadia, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and where your expertise is?
Well, I'm Nadia Vincent. I am a business and technology management consultant, and I specialize in digital transformation, innovation, and artificial intelligence. I have over 2 decades implementing technology innovation in organization or in different sectors. And it's my pleasure to talk about digital transformation and how digital transformation impact every one of us and as well every business.
Right, globally. So I want to ask right off the bat, what happened last week with CloudStrike? I mean, there was a huge outage that caused problems globally, and I don't think people were prepared for this. And I'm certain that most people were shocked. It made the news, and everyone was like, "What happened?" I was mostly shocked by the video of how all of a sudden all the airplanes left the sky. I was like, we need that tangible, right? So what
Yeah.
happened exactly, and what was the implications of that?
Well, what happened is that there was an error in a software update. They were doing an update. Unfortunately, there was an error in the code, and that generated an error that made everything unavailable. Everything with Microsoft Windows for those organizations using that. So that's mean no access to that and no access to the system at all. So and the impact was global. Internationally, you get different countries and different sector. That's why I always say technology has no sector. Technology impact every one of us because you see, it's just technology, but so many different sector, being the bank, the airline, shopping, legal, court, they couldn't function. And you
Hospitals.
know, yes. And Kate, it's not an isolated incident. It's something that may happen anytime again. Because that's what we call digital disruption. We do everything for that not to happen. But we are human and we live in an imperfect world. And we work in agile environment. That I would like to bring your attention to it because we human, we are not agile. That's why, for example, when I create icons for me, I use a lion as the logo because that's the animal that is very agile. While we have to be agile and we as human, we have to learn and practice being agile because technology is changing so fast. The only way to keep up is to continuously innovate and to be quick and relevant.
Mm.
Anything we have to do it quick and we have to provide solution quickly. That's the definition really of agile. And in order to do so, we do it in small portion. And you saw the disruption, you saw how fast it was resolved. So
Mm.
the old way of working, the waterfall, there is no way that could have been solved that quickly. But since we are working agile method, we use iteration, meaning small little packages of code, and then we could isolate a problem and solve it quickly. Then that's what is required for us working in technology, but not just in technology, in life today. It's the new lifestyle, the new work style, being agile, because
Right,
digital
totally.
disruption can happen anytime.
Well, it's interesting just the word agile because I think people outside of maybe business world, they picture agility as like an athlete. We all have a vision in our mind of what agility is. And I think it's important to stress that agility is, yes, physical agility, it's psychological agility, it's intellectual ability. And technology and humans in the machine of technology and business and growth, we have to support these people in being more agile in an environment that is so rapidly improving, so rapidly changing.
Yes.
So
Technology
could you
is fast and faster, and we
Mhm.
cannot compete with technology, so we can just be agile.
Right, exactly. So why is when you talk about business continuity, because this is the really impressive thing, is that you're known as a top 10 thought leader in a variety of different areas. But one of them I would love you to touch on is business continuity. And what is on the opposite end of business continuity?
Okay, great. Great question. Business continuity, that's mean how your business will continue to function if there is a disruption, if there is a change, if there is a disaster. Because since we are all connected and one small thing can impact all of us, we should always have a plan. It's like crisis management, and that crisis today doesn't have to be an earthquake, it doesn't have to be a hurricane, because it can be a small thing in the network, it can be a bug, it can be a cyber security or whatever it is. Then how is your business, what's plan that your business has? And also, we are all data driven, okay? And a lot of operation, we need to have them happen in real time. That's mean we need that digital network connection to retrieve information. Like if you go to your bank to go to retrieve money, or if you're paying online, there is some information exchange in fraction of second to see how much money you have on your account, whether you have other pending transaction, whether before the bank allowed that. So that's real time transaction. But there are some operations that can happen with data directly on your computer. So it's a balance. When we talk about business continuity, it's all different risk aspect of a
Right. Well,
business,
you had
whether
you had
it's
talked
legal.
Right. Yeah, you talked about there's different elements of a business. So the individuals, the business itself, the technology aspect of it, and it's
Mhm.
all divided. I really want to get you into the formula you talk about in your book, Leveraging Digital Transformation. I would love it if you would just get into that a little bit and how it's applicable to this situation.
Yes. In my book, Leveraging Digital Transformation, I've created a formula for digital transformation success. And there are four factors in it. It's individual transformation, time business transformation, time technology transformation, and all divided by fear.
Mm,
Because in order to transform our world today, we need people, we need technology, we need business strategy, and as well we need to help people let go of their fear, because fear prevents us from being innovative. Fear
mm,
cause more mistake, fear cause us not to be agile, fear restrain our growth, you see.
mm.
And well, that is something that you know very well as a high performance coach. uh, People are limited by their fear,
Very much so. Well,
so
it's
that's
like the fear of the unknown is a
yeah.
huge thing, right? And I think
Hmm.
people are also afraid of saying, I don't know, you know,
Hmm.
and it's oftentimes that will lead to human error. And a lot of times people are afraid that, maybe the process or the pain of it is just going to be too hard, right? Or it's going to be too
Hmm.
expensive or whatever the resistance is. And I think this is a very important issue to talk about because we have to address the fear. We have to address it in order to be more proactive to come up with solutions, particularly in this rapidly changing time. And again, like you said, this issue with CrowdStrike, this was first. We think, like you said, a natural disaster or a hurricane, something like that's going to be able to knock us over as a society. But technology is something that we have to be acutely sensitive and aware of the ramifications of something like this. And could you talk
Yes.
a little bit more about the whole concept of digital disruption and what
Yes.
is that?
Well, digital disruption from the first digital, we are all connected. It's a global network. Okay. And the disruption is something that will go wrong, whether something that will go wrong or something that will change the rhythm of how things. It's like there is a global rhythm going. Okay, it's a global connection and rhythm going, and then something happen, hit that rhythm, and then it might come to a stop or cause some changes, some transformation, or some problem. And in that case, we had a problem where a lot of computers stopped working, so business could not happen. So disruption could be anything that come and change how things are being done, or either change them for the best, for the good, or for the worse, stopping them.
Yeah,
So
that's quite serious.
so that means it's something we know that will happen, that can happen anytime, and that's also why we have business continuity in part of digital transformation. Business continuity, it's how your business is going to continue to do business, how your business can recover, who will be responsible for the losses. For example, the airline, all these airline, they had to cancel thousands of flights, and there are lots of people in connection doing connection as well. So some of the people, it's about housing them, waiting for next connection, feeding them if necessary, and finding them the next flight and coordinating all that. And there is cost involved. And for
Right.
example, in Europe, anytime a plane is delayed for more than 4 hours, they have to reimburse part of the cost of the ticket to the person. So that's a lot of cost for airline. And same if they have to house people that they do not have a connection, etc., etc. So there are lots of costs involved. The question is, who is accountable? Who is responsible? You
Yeah,
see?
who's
So
responsible? Right.
yeah,
Well,
and
it's
and
like
that's part of
managing.
all the agreement that should have had before that in the business continuity plan.
Oh, I see. So you're talking about the business continuity as a plan that's in place. And
Yes.
do you feel as though companies are prepared?
Well, they should be. Every company should be prepared. If they're not prepared, they can call me. That's what part of what I do. That's having your business continuity plan in place. And as well, that business continuity sometimes is not perfect for many organizations who do it by themselves because they don't expect that much, but they need to improve it because this situation show what could happen. For example, um, in the business continuity, how are the people prepared to handle customers? Imagine
Mm,
so many customers with angry outbursts, emotional outbursts, depending on the situation. How are these people, the front end, the customer agents, how do they handle this situation? You see?
totally. And so let's talk about that though, because I think this is what are we saying to leaders right now? What would you
Well,
say to the leaders of organizations?
leaders, they have great responsibility, and to leaders, the way management leadership was done before, it's not in the digital age. Digital leadership is different than when we were working in the industrial age, where there were a lot of hierarchy. Today, since there are so many changes happening and requiring people to be agile, there is a lot of resistance. Order people to do things, most of the time it doesn't work. People need to be inspired to self-transform, because it's not just about change. There are so many changes, it's about transformation. The only way we can really lead properly and have organizations that are agile, because as I said earlier, agility is not natural in us, in human. It's to have leaders who self-transform and who inspire the organization to transform. But as well, leaders should create the environment that facilitates people transformation and self-transformation, because transformation takes time. It doesn't, you do not send someone into training like hard skill training and then they transform today, from today and tomorrow. No, it takes time, it takes motivation, it takes patience, and there is a lot of conflict in
Mhm.
this time. So leaders need to prepare for that and create an environment that facilitates self-transformation for leaders, for the organization, and helping people to become more agile, because people will have to work under much more pressure than before.
Mm-hmm.
But we
Yes.
get great help. We get the best technology, artificial intelligence, and all. But when these technology are not available, when we are triggered by client emotion, that's when you realize the most precious thing that an organization has is its workforce. And therefore why workforce agility is very important.
Right. So, what about artificial intelligence in this? I mean, where is the fear in regards to that? Because we touched on fear as an overarching, and you and I have talked about this because we recorded the I Transform Me program together, and I've been really enthralled and engulfed now in this information. But we're looking at people who are, afraid that
Yes.
they have their blinders on and they say, I'm not involved in technology,
Mhm,
meanwhile they have
mhm.
their phone in the face all day. And so what do you want
Exactly.
the people to know about that, and how can we support people to wake up to the fact that we need to have a better preparation and plan and order, because I do believe that that's much of what it is. It's waking up to the awareness of the changes, and we can't, we're either moving forward or we're getting knocked down on our back. We can't be stagnant. That's the way life
Mhm.
is. And so,
Yes.
what do you want to say to these people that are saying, "Well, it's okay. I'm not. My life isn't involved in technology."
Well, to everyone, I'm saying that artificial intelligence is our friend. It's a complementary tools for everyone to use. And um, there is no, there is no need to be fearful of artificial intelligence as long as you consider it as a tool that you can use. And as a tool, there are people who can use it for good. There are people who can use it for bad. And artificial intelligence allow us to achieve much more in less time. And artificial intelligence is better than human on some tasks, but some other tasks human are better than artificial intelligence. So it's a matter of delegating which task for human, which tasks for artificial intelligence. And that's one thing that leaders they need to do today to redistribute the work. And the fear that people ex- the fear that people they experience for artificial intelligence it's mostly in the mind. Once they really consider it as a tool, they realize they will achieve much more, and artificial intelligence will allow us to use more of our brain capacity because we use a very limited part, a very limited amount of our brain capacity. And it's about delegating some of those routine tasks and so that we can achieve much more because our brain intelligence is higher, because that's where we get more creativity, more innovation. And that's what we need to do today. We need to be creative and innovative using artificial intelligence and other technologies with our creativity to achieve more today.
Yeah, and I think that a big part of the conversation around leadership and even agility is understanding that it's so important to bring people together to learn and collaborate, because the new, just as though, and it was so, I loved it when you're talking about the global machine. And I remember as a kid, and I also studied theater, and one of the things that we would do, we would create a human machine, and each person would come in and they would add to the machine, and then we
Mhm,
changed the pace, but it was, the machine was just humans in a machine, and then it would break
mhm,
down, and then something, but it was a beautiful image of how
mhm.
technology works, and we
Yes,
are the more powerful element. And I do want to
yes,
address the fear, particularly about AI, and saying that the biggest growth that studies are showing is in humanity, because we're going to need people to get smarter, to become more innovative, to challenge that,
yes.
and be able to use more of this beautiful human machine we have between our ears to
Mhm.
evolve and grow together as a
Yes.
country, as a nation, as a global world,
Yes,
to
we have become
bring us
like
this
a
change.
city. The world
Hmm.
has become smaller since internet and now artificial intelligence.
Totally true. So, any parting words that you'd like to say to the listeners, to the leaders, to the business leaders, in regards to this issue and what they have to have their eyes wide open to? Any last thoughts?
Well, What I can say is that this incident with the CrowdStrike showed to us how connected we are, how dependent we are on each other, and as well the developers and the whole team working on CrowdStrike. You see how quickly they resolve the problem. They isolate the problem, they resolve it together as a team, as a company. It's the same thing today. We need to come together all over the world to become more innovative, less fearful, as you say, to contribute to that global machine, to the global digital age, to the digital intelligence. It's human and machine. We need to create it together, and we need to protect each other, because glitch like that will affect so many of us. But the more we can have our business continuity plan, every business, they should have their business continuity plan with the risk management, and have proper procedure of working, have proper digital transformation strategy to work, so that we can protect the environment for each of us. And every business, if you think this is technology, don't think about it just technology, think it about the tool to get your business working today. And if you do not have a business continuity plan, if you do not have a digital transformation strategy that address the opportunities today, so I invite you to check out my book or to contact us at Digital Transformation Leaders, see how we can help you, because we are already in a fully digital world, and you either grow, innovate, get your business to grow in it with each other, or your business will disappear.
It's a true story. Well, thank you, Nadia. I appreciate everything that you're doing. And until next time, let's all continue to grow together, to evolve, and to stay agile and to lead together into this magnificent opportunity we have in
Thank
our
you very
future.
much, Kate. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.